Far from home and all alone, Sandra clutches her cell phone, constantly looking for updates from her native Ukraine. 6 weeks ago, the 21-year-old university student was on vacation in Israel. Now, she's a refugee in Tijuana, Mexico. She is one of thousands of Ukrainians who have made their way to northern Mexico in the hopes of entering the U.S. by land.
I have relatives in U.S. I mean, that was the important part for me. I was considering where to go, maybe Europe or maybe somewhere else, maybe US. And I had no relatives anywhere in Europe, and I understood that it's really hard being alone because I was alone more than a month in Israel, and I understood that it's impossible when there is no person near you who can support you and understand.
Since the war began on February 24th, more than 4.6 million Ukrainians have become refugees, while another 7 million have been forced from their homes within the country. It's the worst humanitarian crisis in Europe since the Second World War. Karina Konotopets fled her native Chernihiv on the first day of the conflict, but wherever she went in Ukraine, the Russians seemed to follow. Eventually, after Russian forces were within just 1 kilometer of her, she and her brother fled to neighboring Belarus and then eventually to Poland.
We decided, okay, let's try, because actually the day, like 2 days before we decided to escape, it was a lot of bombings, like we heard a lot of fires and stuff, so we decided, okay, let's do it because it's not safe.
From Poland, Karina took 5 flights just to reach Tijuana. Since refugees started arriving in Mexico at the end of March, an army of volunteers from the U.S. has crossed the border, ready to help in any way they can.
We just wanted to help and move forward. We just got something like, okay, this is the question. We need hot tea. Okay, we need to organize it. Then we need blankets. Okay, we need to organize it. We need chairs. Okay, who can bring chairs? First, blankets we bought from our own money, from pockets. Now we have so many blankets over here.
It's a monumental task, and more refugees arrive every day. The U.S. government has pledged to take in 100,000 Ukrainians, but has so far offered little detail as to how it plans to receive them. For now, many are choosing to fly to Tijuana because they're able to receive a Mexican tourist visa upon entry. While they wait to cross into the U.S., they're being housed at a sports complex.
We created all this in 3 hours. I don't know how, don't ask me how, but people came and we already had mattresses, blankets, some stuff that they need, self-care stuff, kitchen. We set it up in 3 hours.
Tijuana is a border city, and migrants, mostly from Central America, fill the streets. There is some frustration within the migrant community here in northern Mexico about the disparate treatment between how they're handled by the U.S. government and how refugees are being treated. While migrants are forced to wait for their asylum applications to wind through the U.S. justice system, Ukrainians are, for the most part, being allowed entry. But even though they appreciate the help, it's not where they want to be.
It's just another place for me to stay at that is not my home.